Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a recommendation video as well as a little mini haul for the Beautylish Gift Card Event. This is where for every $100 you spend, you're going to get $20 back on a gift card so that you can spend with them on a later date. And this starts today, right now, as this video is going live, and it goes through October 25th. I'm gonna leave the exact dates and times down below, so make sure that you check out the description box for the exact information. Before I get into my recommendations and the haul, I want to give a big thank you to Beautylish. Everything that I am hauling today are things that they sent to me. They reached out to me and asked if I wanted to partner up with them and they would send me my wish list, and I was like, absolutely. And then I got my wish list in. I wasn't expecting them to send everything. I'm telling you guys, I almost cried. I am so grateful. I cannot thank you guys enough. Beautylish, you guys are amazing. Claire, Jennifer, I love you so much. Thank you. I am so grateful. Now I'm going to get into my recommendations that I already have in my collection, and then I'm going to get into the haul of the things that they sent over. I'm going to start off with eyeshadow palettes. I mean, I feel like that's what we've been going over recently anyway. The Anastasia Beverly Hills Pro Pigment Palettes, the Norvina collection. I don't believe they have gotten the third one in yet, but if they do, that is definitely on my recommendation list, but I don't think that they have it yet. However, I love both of these as well. This one is the first one. This one has more of a purple color scheme to it, and then the other one, the second edition, this one is Kelsey's favorite, which I wasn't expecting. I thought that the purple one's going to be her favorite, but this one has more of like the blues, the greens in there. It's still a beautiful palette. I think that they did such an amazing job with these. So if you're looking for some color to your life, those palettes are amazing. And then let's get into Natasha Denona. Yeah, I couldn't pick just a few, so I picked a lot. I went with my top dogs. If you watched my Natasha Denona ranking video, I just basically went with my top dogs. So I'm going to start off with my absolute favorite from Natasha Denona, and it is the Metropolis palette. This is everything to me. The colors in here are perfect for the fall. I feel like it just kind of goes with my whole look today. I like the textures in here. This is a palette that has those creamy mattes that are like almost wet feeling. You also have the metallics and the regular mattes in here. This is just one of those palettes that has the best textures in my opinion. And because of those textures, you're going to be able to get a wide variety of looks. Again, this is my number one. Number one out of every single one of the Natasha Denona palettes. Then we have the BIBA palette, which is the all neutral palette. I don't know if you guys can see how dirty this is on camera. Like I need to clean this, but I get a lot of use out of it. I love the mixture of cool and warm tones in here. I feel like this palette was really well put together. It was hard for me to decide between this one and the Metropolis palette. This was my go-to palette for eye looks for a while until the Metropolis palette, and then that one replaced it in my top drawer, but I still adore this. I still reach for it. I love this palette. I think it is beautiful, and I think that more people will like this one versus the Metropolis. I think the Metropolis is geared more towards people who want to have just like a little bit more fun and a little bit more of a variety of looks. It's more up my alley, but both palettes are amazing. And then if you want to add some Natasha Denona color to your life, the Sunrise palette right here. I've talked about this and talked about this and talked about this. I love the colors in here. You have these watermelon tone shades, you have purples, you have corals, you do have yellow in here, and then I mean, look at it this way, you've got a neutral eye and then you've got your color. It's just a really well-rounded palette, and all three of these are great quality. I know sometimes it's a little back and forth with Natasha, and these are amazing. I would definitely recommend all three of those. Now, if you want some fall colors, but you don't want a big palette and you don't want to spend too much money, this one from Viseart, the Dark Edit, this is one that I have not used. I got one in PR, and then I also got one that I bought. So the one that I bought has been used, and this one has not. So let me take off this little guy. The colors, again, these scream fall, and they are so beautiful. I love this Dark Edit because you can pair this with anything. So if you wanted to take like the Natasha Denona BIBA palette and then just add a little bit of color, this is it. I love the green, this gold, oh, they're beautiful. And then this purple, this purple is everything. This is a palette I would suggest if you want something that's a little bit more deeper in tone. You've got color, but it's not really bright. A lot of the Anastasia ones are brighter, where this one is deeper, hence dark edit. But you still have the beautiful colors in here and the amazing quality. Let's talk about some Tom Ford. I don't know if I've ever done a recommendation video where Tom Ford has been available and I haven't talked about them. So I'm going to get into 2 eyeshadow palettes that recently came out. Now, they have had 2 come out even more recently. I just did a video with those, but I believe that they are already sold out, so I'm not going to be talking about those. However, Body Heat, which is this one right here, not the one I just had in my hands, I can't get enough of this. I don't know if you can tell, but like the TFs are worn off on this. I adore this. I love the wet dry formula from Tom Ford. I love the sheen that you get out of these, the colors in this. This gives you a beautiful bold or a softer eye look if you wanted to take this one like all over the lid and just kind of smoke off the outer corner. I personally love to do a smoky eye with this palette, but if you're looking for something that's going to give you a nice sheen without it being glittery or too over the top, that one is really beautiful. And then along with that, I picked up the Suspicion. I'm still picking up the wrong palette. This one right here. Again, very, very fall-like. I didn't think I was going to love this palette as much as I do. It was one that I was like, back and forth on whenever I was going to purchase, and then I ended up falling in love with this. This actually mixes really well with Body Heat, but again, it's that wet dry formula. I don't know why I'm swatching them like crisscross like that, but this is what that looks like. This gold is perfect for somebody who wants to wear a gold eyeshadow but doesn't want it to be in your face. So you don't want as bright as like the dark edit from Viseart. This gold right here is like a yellow gold. This one is more of a wearable, just, you know, coppery bronzy gold. Very, very beautiful. Again, I love Tom Ford's wet dry formula. This next Tom Ford palette is not an eyeshadow palette, but a face palette, and it is the Skin Illuminating Powder Duo in 07 Incandescent. I was not going to pick this up because I didn't think that this was going to work for me. I thought it was going to be a little bit too dark, but it's not. This is what I'm wearing on my cheeks today for my highlight, and this will work for a wide range of skin tones. It'll work from somebody who is light, not fair. Fair, this is going to be a little too dark for you, but light to medium deep is going to be perfect, and so is the blush. This, if you go in really light-handed, it will be just a nice little flush, and then it really deepens up, and you can use this wet or dry. I have done an eye look with just this palette and eye and face. So I did my eye and face with this palette. If I can remember, I will leave the link to the video down below, but I love this for that type of thing. So I can get a very cohesive monochromatic look out of it that's very fresh, very skin-like and dewy, because this right here, this gives all the sheen. Oh, and it's so smooth. So if you want something that's not going to be glittery, this is it. Let's talk about powders for a second. And you guys have heard me talk about these a million times. I'm so in love with these. I cannot get enough. I loved the original by Terry Hyaluronic Hydra Powder, the translucent, but I adore these even more. I still recommend the translucent if you want to grab something that just has no color. That one is great, but I love, 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 love these tinted ones. The one that I use for my face is number 200 Natural. You can see, like, yeah, I'm just about out of this. I'm gonna have to pick up another one. And then I like to brighten up underneath my eyes with the Rose. Let me open these up. Okay, this one, 200 Natural. Let me get some of this out. Like I said, this one I am just about out of. This is the color that I use to set my face, and this blurs imperfections. It blurs my pores. It blurs my skin, makes it look hydrated and matte at the same time. I don't even know how it does that, but it just makes everything look flawless. And it gives me this slight glow, but it's not, there's no glitter in it at all. And again, it still gives you like that velvety matte kind of texture, but hydrated. I don't know how they do it. Hyaluronic acid probably. This is the number 1 Rosy Light, and this is what I like to use to brighten up underneath my eyes. I have a lot more of this one left because I have to use so little just to go right underneath my eyes. I like to take it right here and sometimes on my chin, and it just brightens up the area, and again, it just smooths out my pores. It's amazing. And then this one right here, Apricot Light, I can actually use this one for my under eyes. This is what I have on today. So I didn't want to be as bright as Rosy Light, so I used Apricot Light today, and I didn't think I would be able to, but I can. This one, not only do I like it to brighten up underneath my eyes, but I really like to buff with this one as well. I didn't buff with it today, but I used something else. I'll show you. This one right here, you can see it brightens up and it has like this texture. It's just, I don't know, it's so smooth, so finely milled, and it's just beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and restock on those. I'll probably buy 2 of the natural ones because I'm going to go through those the most. When I set my face, that's the powder that I end up using the most of. So I'm going to grab 2 of those during this sales and get my own $20 off gift card. The other powder I want to recommend is nothing new. You guys have heard me talk about this for years, and it is the SISLEY, loose face powder with hibiscus flower extract, and it's the Photo Padre Libre. I am going to mess that up, so I'll have it linked down below. The number is 01 Irisy. I do not know about the other shades. People ask me all the time, what about the other shades? This one works for me year round. So from an NC, in between NC 15, NC 20 during the winter, all the way up to NC 35 during the summertime, which I'm like an NC 30 right now. And this is what I love to use to buff. That is what I have on my face right now. It gives me a little bit of a glow. This is stunning, and I have gone through so many of these. So I asked Beautylish if they would send me one over, and they did. So I've got a backup of this. That's one of the products that they did send over to me. Now let's move on to blushes. The very first one I want to talk about is something that I've been using for years, at least 2 years. At least, bare minimum. This is when Tom Ford went and changed their blush formula, and they had this color right here, Inhibition. I get asked about this blush all the time. All the time. Every time I'm wearing it, people ask me what is on my cheeks. Not in videos because I always have it listed down below, but in person, people always ask about this blush. And it is the perfect, slightly warm but neutral toned blush, and it's going to work on light to medium. I know it works on Kelsey, and Kelsey is an NC 43. And I believe it would go to an NC 45. This blush is so beautiful. The texture of it is like a satin. It's not matte, and it doesn't have any glitter in it or anything like that. It's just absolute perfection. And I have not gone through this. I don't know how. I think it's because I have to use so little, because it's very pigmented and a little goes a long way. And then I wanted to talk about the one that I have on my face right now, but I realized what I put in my little box over here is not it. I don't know what I did with it. I was putting on my blush and talking to Puffin at the same time. So it's likely in the bedroom, in the bathroom, in the kitchen, somewhere. Not in my basket, because in my basket I have my Beige Contrast number 200 Contouring Compact. I love this. I've been using this for my nose, but it is not the blush that I am using today. Today I have on the By Terry Platonic Blonde blush. Again, MIA at the moment, but I loved that blush so much. I still love that blush so much. It has this beautiful peachy color to it, and it has a skin-like sheen. So it does have a little bit of a glow, but nothing that's going to add texture or anything else. So that, again, was on my wish list from Beautylish. I asked for another one. This one was sent to me. This is in the shade Nude Dance, number 4. I will insert a picture of Platonic Blonde. But this one, I have not tried it yet. I was going to wear it today, but I felt like with my lipstick and my eyes, I wanted to wear the more peachy toned one. This one, if I can get it open, I have these nails, I'm having issues. So it comes with a little brush in there. And then this is the shade. Again, this is Nude Dance. And I feel like this is going to be so good for the fall. I don't have many colors of blush. Oh, that silky texture is so amazing. That are this color. It has a slight pinky tone to it, and nude and slight, I don't know how to describe it, like a rose. I don't know. I'm going to have to just try this one out for you, but this is beautiful. I do think it would go with my eye, but I really wanted to wear this lipstick, so we skipped on it and just wore the Platonic Blonde, which, yeah, I love. So thank you for that. I'm excited to use it. I have not used it yet, so I'll keep you guys updated. This... this has been getting a lot of use. This is the Ghost Edit palette, the blush palette from Hourglass. I have raved and raved and raved and raved about this palette, and I cannot stop. I have been reaching for this so much because it has everything in it. It has a nude, a brilliant nude at that. This shade right here, I know it doesn't look like anything. And it's not going to show up on you if you're any darker than me, but these other ones will. These other ones pack a punch. You have a pink, the nude, you have a coral, and then a more natural tone blush. I feel like this goes with everything. This palette is so great for traveling because it's going to go with every single one of your eye looks. This is a palette that you can have and just have everything that you need for any type of look that you want to do. And the textures are amazing. They are beautiful. Hourglass does a beautiful job with any type of powders they have ever done. I don't think I've ever not liked a powder they've done. I don't think. I am such a goober, so I had just put them both in there. I just saw this in my, oh, okay, so here is Platonic Blonde. I'm not inserting a picture now, so editing me, I'm not inserting a picture. Okay, this is Platonic Blonde from By Terry. Oh my goodness, I'm losing my head. But you can see this one is much more peachy, and then I'm going to show you up against Nude Dance. So here they are. This is Platonic Blonde, the one that I am wearing, and this is Nude Dance, the one that was sent over to me from Beautylish. There you go. More By Terry, the Hyaluronic Hydra Primer. I have been bugging you guys to death about this primer. I have been using it to death, and I am almost out of this bottle, but don't worry, I have a replenishment. I love this. This gives me a slightly smoother texture. It hydrates my skin, but it doesn't make me oily because I have combination skin, so I don't like for something to be overly dewy or something that's going to be too matte. I like to use several primers. I use something different on my pores, and then I love this one for the perimeter of my face. It just adds that extra hydration, and moving into fall and winter, my skin can be slightly more dry. That hyaluronic acid, this and the powder combo, oh, it is doing me so many favors. Along with these two foundations, I have quite a few new foundations, quite a few, but these have been some go-tos for me. One you have already heard me rave about. This is the Anastasia foundation, the Luminous foundation. This is beautiful. I don't find it, it's kind of like luminous silk. I don't find it to be really luminous or dewy. It's just like a satin natural finish. It has a medium coverage. I feel like it just, I don't know, it covers what I need it to cover without it being heavy on my skin. It doesn't look cakey. It looks great on camera. It looks great in person. It's just beautiful, and it's very long wearing. Now this one is a new one that I am head over heels for. It's the one I am wearing right now, and it is from SURRATT. This is the Dew Drops foundation. What shade do I wear? I wear shade number 4. Again, this is what I have on right now. This gives me a light medium, so it's not as much coverage as the Anastasia Beverly Hills, but it's still enough for me. And again, moving into the drier months, I feel like this is what I need for my skin type. This, again, is not dewy. I was expecting this to be like an oil slick, and it's not. It's the perfect amount of sheen without it emphasizing pores, without it emphasizing texture. It's just a beautiful foundation. It has like this kind of style dropper on it, and then on the bottom you have to push. This does not work out with my nails. I have to use a brush to push down on it, but this has been one of my go-tos. I'm sure you guys have seen in the description box me wearing this. This is long wearing for me. I love the way it looks on my skin, so I would highly suggest this. You are definitely going to end up seeing that in my favorites for the month. Lastly, I want to talk about brushes before I get into the rest of my haul from Beautylish. You guys should know already the 2 brands that I am going to recommend. Sonia G and Wayne Goss. As you can see, yes, some of them are dirty. I can't help it. I use them a lot. I want to specifically mention the Wayne Goss eye set. I'm just going to insert a picture because, yeah, look, my brushes are disgusting. I use them all the time. I do have a few clean ones in here. I did a brush cleansing video recently, so some of my brushes are clean. The eye set right here that I'm inserting is a natural hairline. I absolutely love it. I use these brushes all the time. If there's a set that I want to recommend to just somebody who needs a great set of brushes, beginner or advanced, this is the set I would suggest always. It's always the one that I'm just like, go get this. He also has a synthetic line, so if you don't want something that has natural hair, I like his synthetic line, and that is something to be said because there's only a few brands that have synthetic brushes that I do like. And then he also has the squirrel hair brushes, which are so beautiful. I tend to use these for underneath my eye, like setting. When I use my BECCA powders, I like to use this, or if I need to blend out underneath my eye. I don't use these a whole lot whenever I'm doing eye looks because I tend to use products that need to be really, really tugged at. But you saw in my MAC video, which one did I use? I used, where's it at? It might not be in here. I think, let me see. This one, the Wayne Goss number 6. This brush is really soft, and I was using it for these spellbinder pigments because they can't be moved around a lot. So if you need brushes that are softer, that are not going to tug at your eye, or you want a softer application, if you're using shadows that are softer in general, these brushes are so beautiful. But again, I really like them for like blending out underneath the eyes. I love them for nose contour. I like them for the powders that I want to use and have a softer blend. I do tend to use the eye set a little bit more than the softer ones just because of preferences. But if you want softer brushes that are going to have softer application and not tug on your eyes, those are amazing. All of his face brushes are so beautiful. I could not fit everything in here, but just any Wayne Goss brush you want, get it because they're all fabulous. And then Sonia G. Again, eye set. I prefer the Pro. I love the Pro line. I love the handles of them like this. I like the shapes of the brushes. I feel like she's very innovative with the shapes that she creates. So if there's like a brush that you're missing from your collection, you can usually find it in her line. Like, let's say this one right here is the Blender Pro. This is kind of like a tapered, rounded out edge of a 239 from MAC and slightly thinner. It's really great. And then the Sonia G Builder 3. I don't know why. I just love saying that, probably because it rhymes. But this is such a great packing brush. Love this one. And then again, all of her face brushes. Wayne Goss and Sonia G. People ask me all the time which one. I can't choose. They are different to me. They do different things. I prefer different brushes for different applications, you know, and I recently picked up this brush right here. This is the Sculpt 1. Finally picked it up, and I love, this is what I used today to buff. And then I love her other fan brushes to buff with. This is the Sculpt 2, and just like her face sets, everything are so good. But if you're gonna ask me which one to choose, I can't tell you. You can't go wrong. That's one thing I can tell you. You cannot go wrong. Just look at the shapes, see which ones look like they're better suited to you and your personal style. You're not going to be disappointed in anything Sonia G or anything Wayne Goss. I will buy them blindly. You come out with a new brush, I have to have it. Oh, speaking of which, Sonia G just came out with the Designer Pro. She sent this one over to me, and I love this. So I want to just talk about this really quickly. I have not gotten to show you guys this on camera. I use this today to apply my blush. It is a wonderful blush brush. I know you can get a lot of different uses out of it. Contour, you can bronze, and you can do your little highlight if you want to. This is a blush brush for me, and it's perfect. So it has a nice shape to it, and then it's also kind of not too flat, but just a little bit more on the flat side. It's not rounded out like some of her other ones. This is the Cheek Pro. You can see the difference there, and it has a medium density, so it's not too soft and it's not too stiff. I wish I could tell you guys that her Sky set was going to be available, but it's not. I don't think that's going to be available, from what I understand, until next year. So sorry. Beautylish did me a solid and sent me one of the brushes I have on my wish list from Sonia G. I'm so excited. I didn't even use it. I have not used this yet. I want to use it on camera for like a first impressions thing. This is the Face One. I've seen Michelle Wong use this, and when she was doing this, when she was doing this, I was like, I need that brush. I need that brush. Oh, but I got the fan brush before. I was going to pick this one up. And then when Beautylish reached out to me, this was on my list. I am so excited to have this. I don't have anything that's like this. It's like the natural hair brushes in this shape. You can see like it's rounded out, kind of like a foundation brush would be. I would imagine this would be really great at applying like mineral powder foundation. I don't personally use that, but I'm going to check this out for buffing, and probably I might use it for blush too. I don't know. It's very, very soft. They also sent over this brush from Chikuhodo, and this is the T7. Again, I have not used this clearly because it is in the packaging, but I wanted to see how this compared to like a MAC 217. I wanted to see how it compared to some of my Wayne Goss brushes, Sonia G, some of my old MAC brushes. This looks really nice. It looks more of like a paddle style where you could really get some detail work into the crease. I've been wanting to check out Chikuhodo's eye brushes for a while, so I'm excited to give this one a try. I'm gonna add that into my collection. All right, moving along, this is from the pharmacy, and it is the Honeymoon Glow. This is something that I already use, and I am like at this much left of my bottle, so I was like, hey, let's get a backup of that. I love this. This is an AHA resurfacing night serum with hydrating honey and gentle flower acids. This isn't something that I use every single night. I use it 2 to 3 times a week, and I see the difference in my skin. I'm going to show you what the bottle looks like. You will get a little bit of like that tingling type of feel. I have really fallen in love with the pharmacy brand. There's several products that I really like from them, and this is one of them. So if you're looking for an AHA product, this one is great. Oh, it's so nice. And more skincare, again, by Terry. This is a brand I just really have been falling in love with. So I thought, hey, let's try out some of their skincare. And this is the Cellular Rose Stem Cells Hydra Toner. I'm not out of my toner yet, but as soon as I am, this is the one that I want to try. Everything hydrating from By Terry just seems to be amazing, so I'm just going to assume that that's amazing. La Mer the Mist. Okay. This is something while I worked at Nordstrom that I would always go over to the La Mer section, and I would grab the mist and I would spray my face. It's like at the end of the day when my makeup was looking a hot mess, I was not reaching for MAC Fix Plus. I was reaching for this guy right here. This gave me the boost that I needed at the end of the day and just really refreshed everything, and I always wanted to buy it, but I never did. I don't know why. Probably because we went through this time when there was a new mist or setting spray coming out all the time, kind of like foundation and palettes right now, and so I forgot about it. But then when I was looking at like everything on the Beautylish site, I was like, oh yeah, I love that mist, and so I got it, and I'm so excited to finally be able to use it. I really am trying to stay away from things that have a bunch of alcohol in them when it comes to face mist and whatnot, because I'm just trying to get things that are going to be more hydrating on my skin. I do use products that have alcohol in them, so it's not like I avoid it altogether. But for like my mists and whatnot, I prefer to use ones now that don't have it in it. Somebody asked me if I was going to do an update for my fragrances or if I picked up a fragrance for the fall winter. You guys know my absolute favorite ride or die fragrance is Tom Ford's Oud Mineral. Nothing tops that, not even this, but this is probably my second favorite. I think this is probably my new second favorite. When this came out, again, when I was working at Nordstrom, I believe I went through an entire bottle of this all by myself. Because I would go over and spray myself in the morning before like my shift started, and it's the Oud Wood Intense. I cannot tell you how amazing this smells. I feel like you have to like something that's a little bit more on the masculine side. It smells very woodsy. It's in the name, and it is intense. I like intense smells. I don't like things that are soft. I'm not very girly with my scents, and I like citrus scents. I like warm scents, and this, oh, I'm gonna spray it. Oh, this just gives me, this makes me think of firewood and the woods and Christmas. I don't know, but not in a typical like, oh, cookies and whatever kind of way. It's just in a, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. I'm terrible at describing scents, but with this one, it is very, very, very intense. If you like Oud Wood from Tom Ford, I would suggest trying this one out. Oh, and it lasts all day long. This is such an amazing scent. Okay, more Tom Ford. This is a palette that has been on my wish list for a while, but again, palette, things have just been coming out, and I have been trying to prioritize. Sorry, there's a box in my lap that is trying to tip over, so I'm going to take everything out. Pretty Baby. I had to decide between putting this on my eyes today or the other palette that I ended up using. But this, obviously I used the other one because this one has the purple in there and this beautiful, oh, look at this. Oh, Tom Ford does those topper shades like nobody else. They are so sophisticated and just glass-like. So if you want something that is going to give you that beautiful sparkle that everybody's wearing now, but you don't want to emphasize texture, Tom Ford does it like nobody else. So I cannot wait to use this. And then I'm blown away. I am blown away by the palette that I have on my eyes right now. I know this is a very neutral look. I'm into it. I love neutral palettes. This is from SURRATT. I fell in love with the Dewdrop foundation, and there was something else that I tried that I really liked. So I decided I really wanted to try their shadows. So I put this on my wish list, and I'm so glad that I did. This is the Beyond Beige Petite palette. Again, this is what I have on my eyes. When I was looking at this, I couldn't tell if this was really similar to Coco Mirage from Tom Ford, which I always suggest. So I went back and forth on whether or not I wanted this or another one, and I decided to go with this. I'm so glad that I did because it is not like Tom Ford's Coco Mirage. This has a stunning sheen to it. It is sophisticated. It is, I don't know how to describe it. Let me just swatch this for you really quickly. Again, this is what I have on my eyes. I don't know if you can tell that this has a sheen. It is skin-like. It is kind of what the By Terry powder is to my face, what this is to my eyes. It has just a skin-like texture. It's not wet or anything like that. I have this all over my lid, so you can kind of see it has a slight sparkle to it, but it's very thin in texture. It's not chunky. It's not going to make your eyes look crepey or anything like that. This is on the brow arch. Then I have this on the outer corner, just barely blended out, and then this is all in my crease. These are not mattes. They are a creamy type of texture. These two down below don't have any kind of sparkle or anything to them, but they still have a sheen, like a skin-like sheen. Very easy to blend out. I am so impressed with this that I know for sure I'm going to be purchasing more SURRATT eyeshadows. This is phenomenal. If you're looking for a phenomenal eyeshadow palette that's a basic color scheme without being basic, this is it. It is just, I cannot tell you how thrilled I am with this palette. I am over the moon. I love it. Now, the very last product is something that you guys have been suggesting to me for a while, so I put it on my wish list, and it is from Hourglass. This is what I have in my brows today. I'm so glad that you guys told me about this because I really like this. This is probably my new go-to pencil, and it is the Arch Brow Micro Sculpting Pencil, and I have the shade Soft Brunette. The texture of this is lovely. So I'm pretty easy with brows. I can use just about anything in my brows. I am very lucky to have a lot of brow hair. However, when I don't like a brow product, I really don't like it. There's several that are too hard and I have to press too hard. I don't like that. Or if they're too soft, or if the color is not right. This has the perfect texture to it. It's very thin. It's not a pointed tip like the Anastasia one. This is kind of like I'm gonna have to do a close-up picture of it, but this gives me brow hairs and it fills in really nicely. And again, the perfect color. And then you have the spoolie on the other end, which again is a great size. But that is it, you guys. Please let me know what you're gonna be picking up from the Beautylish gift card event. Again, remember, for every $100 you spend, you are going to be getting $20 back on a gift card. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. One more time, thank you, Beautylish, Jennifer, and Claire. So much love to you. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.